Hello guys, sorry for keeping you guys wait for 10 minutes. My meeting it keep on extending. So you guys there?
No worries, no worries. Meantime, we found the time to watch the match.
Oh wow. That's good. That's good. So yeah, let me quickly open my Visual Studio. So So I hope the manual API is very clear for you guys. So let me start sharing my screen. Did anyone join and dropped in between? Do you want me to ping in the WhatsApp group that I joined the class? I'll do one thing. I'll just
Since the
ping it.
beginning, I think we three are there.
Oh, okay. So now I'm the fourth one.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me mm, share the screen. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to you now.
Yes.
So awesome. And okay, screen stop for me. So do you want to can someone explain me what is a put and a patch is? Put is to update the data, but when we are going to update it, we need to ensure that we have provided the entire data. Whereas the patch is to just it is also for updating the data, but you don't have to provide the entire key, just a bit of it. Whatever the things you want to update, you can update it. Okay. So now let me close this one. Inside my test, or else I'll create a new folder saying test API now. So when you download this framework, you can see this uh, test for UI, and this test API is for our API automation. So let me quickly create a new file for that. So in the PyTest model, in order for the file to be recognized as an API, thanks, Sujit. Okay, so the test API for the PyTest, in order to identify that this particular file is related to the API, what do we need to do? What should be my naming convention?
You should start with test underscore.
Perfect. That's an interview question, actually. So API automation dot py. It's a Python file. So it's done. So let me grab our sample test case so I don't have to write it again. I'll just copy this one, paste it, and again the importing techniques, whatever we needed. Inputs. So this is our traditional UI test case. So in order to work on a browser, what we need to do? We need to launch it. We need to launch a Chromium browser, and we need to create a session. Context creates a session, and then this is no, it is not needed. So, and then on that session, if you want to open a page, we will be creating a new page, and then we will be, if you want to navigate to to a particular website, we will be using go to. If you want to click, we will be using a click. So that is a UI based one. But now for the API, if you recall our yesterday's concept, we don't need a browser at all. Correct. We just need to send the URL along with our method and headers. Right? So if you remember our API earlier, we just provided the URL. If it is a get method, I have selected get. And inside that, if it is a secured API, then I have provided my authorization. After providing the authorization, I just clicked on the send button. So now did I use a browser anywhere? No. So just comment out the browser. So when you don't have a browser, do we need a page? Do you need a context? Context creates a session and then a page. So we don't need these three things for the API, for the API automation. But what you need is like we need a context. Okay. So the way of writing the context is a bit different in the API. So how we are going to do is, let me remove this one as well. We don't need a with block also. Inside this, we used to call a page fixture, correct? So instead of using a page fixture, it is not related to the UI. I'm directly using a playwright fixture. Playwright, sync playwright. And now by using a playwright, or earlier with the block also, you can do the same thing with p dot and provide so playwright dot. We are passing a request. So whenever we are clicking on send, it means you are going to pass a request. So request dot new context. Instead of the browser, I'm using playwright dot request. So that's the only thing we need whenever you are dealing with the playwright with the APIs. You don't need all these three concepts, but we need a context because through the context, the playwright communicates with the API calls. So inside the context, since I'm not using a browser, what I need is when you are dealing with the APIs, you need to provide playwright.request. That's it. And later on, use the context dot. Now, if you want to use a get method, when you are just using get, just use a get and your URL. That's it. So let me open my Postman to grab the URLs from there. Just a method, guys. It is really easy with the Playwright. Provide playwright.request and then context.get. If you are going to get it. If your intention is to post it, use context.post. If your intention is to patch it, use context.patch. Okay. Okay, let me grab the URLs. Give it a second for me. Close it. Now get. Inside the get, my intention is to just grab the URL, grab it, and post it. You want to allow it, something. Post it, and that's it. So what does this context.get do? It will, yeah, it will hit on send. So once we hit on send, what it is happening? It is providing a test data, the results, right? So we need to get the result. So as soon as you hit on the context.get, it will send the request and it will return the data also. It will return the result. So you just have to store it in a variable. So I'll just store it as a result. Okay. So now your result variable has the entire result. And let me try printing the result. What does it show? Result. Only the result, not the status. So let me trigger the run now. And let's see what it is happening. CD and copy path. In PyTest. I want to run only this file. So I'm just copying the relative path and I have used the print statement. So I need to use -s in order to see the data. Okay, it is taking its handful of time to get the data. So give it a minute, guys. Yeah, so I got the result. So with the normal result, what is the data it is forward? It is providing us, it is just some API response. It is passing the URL which I have triggered and the status and a status text. It means it is just providing this particular status code. But I don't want only the status code. I want to grab the data, the entire result here. In order to get the entire data, what we need to do is we need to convert the result into JSON. Sorry, result.json. If you convert the entire data into a JSON, you will be able to see the data now. Just result, it will show you some array text. In that array, you will be able to see only the status and the code of it. But in order to see the data, the test body, result body, you need to convert it to a JSON. All right. So now if you see the entire data, whatever it is displaying in my Postman in this particular section, it is getting displayed over here. The entire ID starting from ID 1 to ID 2, ID 3, everything will be displayed in here. Okay. So now, how do I put an assertion here? As I told you earlier, if we get 200 status, it means the result is proper. Likewise, if I get a 400, there is some issue. 404 authorization or sorry, the not found, and 500 it is an internal server error. So in order to make sure I am getting a proper result as part of the API assertions, what I do is I provide assert result.status equals to true 200. Okay, I will make sure assert, it will check whether the data here is true or not. Assert true means the test cases will get passed. Assert false, it means the test cases will get failed. So result.status, is it 200 or not? Inside the result, if you remember earlier, we had this data which is being provided. So in that, I'm just grabbing the status. How do you grab the status? By using result.status. Is it 200 or not? If it is 200, then yes, pass the test case. So let me trigger the run. And now I'm not going to print it because it is already looking huge inside my command prompt. So now if you see it, it is passed. So likewise, I'm expecting 500 instead of 200 status to just see whether the test case is getting failed or not. So now my expectation that the test case should get failed. See, assertion 200 equals to 500, where 200. The result which we got is 200, but the expectation was 500. So that's the reason why I got an assertion error. Okay. Any questions on this, guys?
Tripura, do we need to pass the authorization like tokens
We
or
need to. We
something?
need to. I will explain it in a bit. So before that, any questions on using the assertions or grabbing the data or converting the data into a JSON? So similarly, if you want to put some assertions on status text also, you can do it. Directly write assert result dot status text equals to OK, if that is your expectation.
Tripura, can you repeat about the assert once again?
Definitely. So what does an assert do is assert and a condition. Okay. So if the condition, you remember our if class, if condition, if the condition returns a true data, then the assert is proper and the test cases will get passed. If the condition returns false, then the test case will get failed. So here I'm seeing, I am just comparing whether my result dot status is 200 or not. If it is 200, then this condition will provide me true as an output. So asset will get passed.
Okay. Otherwise, it's going to display the other other status codes, right? Like you
Yes.
mentioned.
It is saying that you expected 500, but I got 200. And below also you can see the data.
Okay.
Okay. It is, the assert is not only for for the API, we also used in the UI. Okay. In the initial classes, I explained like we have two types of assertions, one using assert and the other thing is like expect. But for the UI, we will be mostly going towards the expect. We don't have expect in API automation, so that's the reason why we will be using assert. Okay. So now going on to the next topic. So here, yeah,
Sorry, Tripura. Why don't we have expect here in API?
in API we generally have only assets. So that's the inbuilt one. Okay. So here, if you see it, we have like this is an open source. So even without the authorization, I got the data and everything is proper. Now, if I have to provide the authorization, so as I explained earlier, few APIs need the token, the authorization token. So there are like multiple levels of token, I told you, right? So now let's assume you need the basic auth, which means you need a username and a password. So how do you pass this basic auth? When you need to trigger the send get request, how do you pass the basic authors? Just provide it inside your context. When passing a new context, just provide here your let me close this suggestion. See, the co-pilot is giving me suggestion. In order to snooze it, I'm just clicking on snooze so that for the next 10 minutes, I won't get the suggestions. So here, what are the two things we need? We need username and a password. So pass it as a dictionary or a JSON key. Username equals to what is it? Some dummy data I'm just giving it. So sorry, I should not use that one. Comma. If you want to provide it in a new line, okay, or you can also provide it in a single line. But just to have it beautifully visible, I'm just adding it in a next line. And next comes the password. Just provide your password. Colon, whatever the password you think, 1234, something. I have given the username and password. But inside the context, if you remember the trend, you should not directly provide the data. You should provide a key for that, the parameter for that. So whenever you are using a basic auth, the parameter which you need to share is HTTP underscore and credentials. So why am I not getting it? New context, playwright dot request is not defined. Mhm. This is right. So let me do one thing. Copy this above it equals to HTTP. Yeah, HTTP credentials. So let me just travel inside it. We have HTTP credentials. Then why is it not accepting? Context, which is right. Okay, this is browser context. So why it is not taking context equals to playwright dot request sync playwright. It is being imported. HTTP credentials are right. So let me ask our playwright. Yeah, it is also giving me the HTTP credentials only. Then why mine it is? Oh God, I did not give. It's equals to. Mm, yeah. So now this is how we need to pass the data. So just provide HTTP credentials. Everything was right earlier, but instead of giving equals to, I was still stuck with the JSON format. So that's the reason why it was not accepting it. Got it. Unwanted code, let me remove it. If you want to share the basic auth of username and credentials, then this is how you need to share it. So let's assume you don't want to share the username and credentials. You want to pass the bearer token. Okay. So if you want to pass the bearer token, then how do you do that? Is the same. Copy this. This is for username and password, the basic auth. If your requirement is to pass the bearer token, the same pattern, use it. And instead of HTTP credentials, what you are supposed to use it, extra credentials. Extra HTTP headers and just equals to open close braces, authorization, and your token. Bearer 123 example. Okay, so just provide the authorization, whatever you're giving in here, the token value, just grab it and append with the bearer and give the value. So that the authorization will understand you're going to pass the bearer token. So this is one way of giving the data. So whatever the data you are giving it, you can directly provide it inside the new context and give the authorization. So whenever the session is going to get begin, it will understand it and it will add it. And whenever you are using it, it will directly allow you based on your authentications. Okay. Any questions on providing the token, guys? So rest all the tokens. Here you have bearer token, we have OAuth, you have O or 2.0. If you are in a place where you need to pass any of the data like API key, anything, then you just have to use extra HTTP headers. Only for the basic auth, you need to provide HTTP credentials. Okay, apart from the basic auth, rest all the authentication need extra HTTP headers. Okay. And authorization for bearer token. If your ask is about the API key, instead of the authorization, what we need to give? X API key. That's it. If it is an API key, provide API X API key. If it is an bearer token, provide authorization. That's it. Any questions on API automation? On Get.
It's all good.
Often. So now, would you mind telling me, guys, how do you deal with the Get post now? So we have seen about the Get. So let me copy the same thing and going towards the post. Let me update it to post API. And now this is no longer needed for you. So I'm just removing it. I'll have it as it is. So you can use it as a reference point. Now post. So what are the major things which you need to have whenever you're dealing with a post? You need a body. That's it. Everything else is
Body.
common. You need the post to say that your code is related to the post. Instead of the get, you ask the playwright to do a post job. Inside the post, you need this URL. Grab it, place it. And after that, what you need to provide? You need to provide the body. Just grab this one. And what I am doing is I'm just assigning it to a variable. So just I'll provide my variable equals to body like this. Okay. Let me click on tab, 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 tab. Now it is proper. So we have a body. Grab it. While doing a post alone, you need to send the body. How you are doing, how you are posting it? By using a data. Data is the key parameter which you need to use whenever you're trying to send the body. Data. Okay. So post and the data. Sometimes you wish to send the headers also, not only the body, but sometimes here we already have the headers, but my intention is to pass the example here, content length. What is it? We don't have anything required. I have the accept only. Here I want to share the accept as this parameter. I want to pass this particular header. How do I do that? Using the playwright is by just providing the headers. Same, or I will write comma header. Headers equals to your key and the value. So okay, it has suggested me the content type. So here the content type, here it is text plain. The content type, what is the content I am providing? So just to see the difference, this is in a normal text, no color formatting. Why? Because my content type is plain text. Instead, I will use application/JSON as my content type. So authorization params. Okay, it is not allowing me to update. None text script setting. Do you have a content type? Follow HTTP. Okay, so it is not allowing me. Content type. JSON. So now if I go to my body, see, it is properly displaying as a JSON. Earlier, it was in a normal text format, but now it is displaying as a JSON. So that is what kind of content you want to display it. So that is what. And when we are using a accept means what kind of data in what format you want the result to be. If it is a JSON, you can directly put it as it is, like this. So whatever the headers, and now if you want to add another key, just put a comma and accept application dot slash JSON. You can directly provide comma and you can directly use the same key, whatever it is displaying over here, use it and provide the value towards it. That's it. Data, headers. Data is for body and headers if you want to share any headers to it. So I'll do one thing. I will remove the testing here so that this particular test case will not get triggered. And let me directly trigger it. So guys, what would be the output when we are trying to insert the data? It will be 201 created. So this assertion will fail because I'm asking it to expect 200. So let me comment this out and now trigger the run. It's passed. And if you see now, I got the response as 201 and created. Yes, guys. So similarly, if you want to use a put, just change the put. Every other thing is common. The headers are common. If you want to get the result, you can get the result. And then in the JSON format, you want to see the JSON data, you can see it. And if you want to get the whatever the body you want to pass, you can pass it. And every other drama is same, whatever the API you take. So you can directly just concentrate on two things and every other masala is same. So here I'll hold on to a minute. If you have any questions, please shoot at me.
Tripura, for the headers, you've given content type, right? So when do we generally give content type?
I mean, it is not mandate. I'm just giving it as a reference, but you can provide it anything. So, but why I'm using a content type? Because the data is in a JSON format. The body, whatever the body I am posting, it is in a JSON format. So I'm just telling the Playwright that the data will be in a JSON format. So please accept it in that pattern because of my body.
Okay.
It depends on the body. Okay. So give me a second, guys. My laptop is dying. Give me a second. I'll just stop the chat.
Okay.
I'm back. Thank you. So, similar pattern. If you are going to use a put, give a put and provide the body properly. And the data, the result, you need to store in a JSON format. So let me do one thing. Let me print the JSON data and let me comment the result. What are the other kind of assertions you can do with the API? We'll see. Let me trigger the run. And what is it printing? See here. This is the data which it provided when I am trying to convert the JSON data into a result into the JSON data. Is it matching with my current data over here? I think almost correct. Yeah, the same data. Okay. And here, if you observe, it is in a dictionary format. So how do you grab a single data? If you want to grab the ID also, it is possible. How do you do that? Just grab the print again. Or I can do another thing. Result value equals to JSON. And here, what I'm doing, I'm just trying to print results of ID. In our normal dictionary, how do I grab the data? By just using a key. If I want to grab the ID, I can directly use the ID. I'll just comment out and we'll print it. So you can see the ID equals to 195 got printed now. Similarly, if you want to use a title, if you just want to grab the title, you can grab it and you can use it. Okay. So this is how you can grab the data from the JSON and use it for your automation purpose. In future, in the coming lines, there is something needs to be done based on the ID which this particular call has done. You can grab the ID and you can use it for your automation. Likewise. Okay. And I will, you can take put and patch as an assignment because there is nothing else to do. Just change the body and change the command as put and just update the URL. Rest all the things are common. Okay, guys.
Tripura, can we parameterize this value during post method? Like
You
dynamic?
can params, query params. You meant, right?
No. It's like because currently the values are static, right? And I want to change it based on the each
Ah,
iteration.
understood. So yeah, one quick thing, you just can't make everything, this will be common across all. So let's say your
Right.
body is what which being parameterized or, yeah, let's assume that your body is being parameterized. What you can do, you can have it inside a method, call it and just provide this. So let me copy this and create another normal method. Def body open close colon value and return body. Here provide the parameter. Let's assume my price is what I'm going to parameterize. So I'll just remove this one and put a price here. That's it. So just call the body. I'll comment it out. Like this. So now, okay, this looks a bit same. Body define method. Okay, I'll copy this. I'll paste it. So now if you see, every time this body will get called because I am picking this particular method. And the price. Likewise, if you want to parameterize anything, you can parameterize it. Provide it in a body and call it.
We
In a
can create
method
the
and call
method
it.
and there we can ingest either from CSV or Excel or anything, any source. Right?
You can use any means. Yeah, good one. You can use any means. You can also have all your data in a JSON and call it. But in the industrial standpoint, what we generally do is we will have, let's suppose here, what is this API is doing? This is trying. So we will have a particular test case for the get method for get. We'll have a method for the get and we will call it. Instead of writing everything in here, we will write it in a method and we'll call it whenever it is needed. Okay, and similarly for the post also for each and every post. So here my post is adding a product and some data I want to add a title. A new title needs to get inserted into the database. So there would be another URL for that, the other endpoint. So for each and every endpoint, we will create separate methods and we will call it into our test case whenever it is needed. Okay.
Okay. And one more, when it comes to the post method, the value, the body parameters, either it is passed as key value pair or as a body. So you have given the example of manipulating the body, right? Request body. when it comes to the key value pair params?
It is in the form of a key value pair.
So the
Mm.
format would be same, like data equal to body
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. It would be same for data. Everything it is data only. Data means body.
okay.
Okay.
If you go to the Postman,
Mm. Okay. Mhm.
so the params section, sometimes the post method has
These are different. It's query
this. Yeah,
parameters.
yeah, query
So for
parameters.
these, you need to have an other entity here, other parameter. So just
Okay.
query params or let me see what and all we have in the post. Yeah, we just need to have a query parameters. Params equals to ID equals to 200. Yeah, it is accepting it. This is how. So let's say your query parameters. So currently ID will not work on this, but if your parameter, your query parameter, the key, okay, just provide your key and the value of it. If there are like so many of them, do one thing. You can, instead of having it everything added by comma separation, create another variable, just something like that. If there are like multiple query parameters like this, cut this one and have it placed in a variable and call that variable over here. Like what we did for the body. Params is a key which you need to use.
And the second is the API chaining,
Mm-hmm.
because there are certain scenarios where one request response will be further used as a request parameter, and that
Mm-hmm.
chaining happens, right? So in
Yeah, yeah,
terms
and that
when
is
it comes to the
also
Postman, it's the
normal.
collections. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So now you need to have a chaining. So just return the data. So instead of having it inside a test case, what we did with the test body, we had it inside a definition, right? Inside a method. Just grab
Okay.
your response, like everything inside a method, return the data, return the result. So
Okay.
now here, consider this as a method, right? This is a normal method. It is not a test case yet. So now here, just return. What are we going to return? If your requirement is to return the result, just return the result now. And then according to your requirement, you can convert it to a JSON. And once it is in the JSON format, we know how to fetch the data using a key.
Okay.
Use it and use it for your test cases.
Tripura,
Yeah, perfect.
is it possible to give like multiple set or multiple values? Like you already have one set in the body, so is it possible that we give more?
No, the general API thing is that we can only have a single body once. Even with the manual also, we can only provide it once. If you have a multiple data, in this body alone, you have multiple data, just copy the entire data and pass it inside any variable and use it for the data. Okay. So, but we can only pass it once.
Once, okay.
Good questions, guys. Anything else on APIs?
Yeah, seems good. We think we need to have practice on this because most of the applications in recent era is completely microservice driven, right?
Correct. But when compared with the UI, API will be very easy. You don't have to remember much. You just have to know how to post the data, how to use the headers, how to post the data, and how to grab the data. So just sit for a single day. you will be able to master it. Okay, and since we have only 5 more minutes, do you want me to start the database now, or we can also have it tomorrow? So whatever works with you, I'm fine with it.
Tripura, will you show like how do we get the response from the API and how do we compare with that UA test cases?
I've just shown you how to get the responses from the API. So
Okay, because I need to validate that API response with the whatever the available feeds on the UA.
So you need to get the response by using JSON. So this is the key. So first convert your data into JSON, grab the result, okay? Convert that to a JSON. Inside, okay, let me re-trigger this particular test case so that I'll be able to help you. I won't touch this one. I'll create a new one. I need a traditional format. So let's open. Let me go down and here and a new test case too. And let me remove this one. Yeah. So let me remove this. Yeah. So till here, I hope it is clear, right? How do we post the data using our body and headers? These three are like mandate. I'll park the params out for now, else it will be confusing. So we have the post, everything is done. And once you post the data, what happens? Both your response code status along with the data, the test data will be returned. So whatever the data which is being returned, we are storing it inside a variable called results. And if you directly print the results, what happens? It will just provide you some ASCII value because the data will be passed in the form of an array. Okay, in a ASCII value format, you have received it. So what you need to do, there are like multiple assertions which I can do. First, I need to check whether the status is 200 or not. So right away, if my status is 500, it means my test case did not pass. So your test case needs to get failed it then and there itself. So that's the reason why what I did, I have put an assertion saying that to fail my test case, if it is the database, let me kill the operation, guys. Close window. Cancel, confirm. Let me kill the operation. Yeah, it is making my application slow. So then and there itself, if the status is not 200 or 200 series one, my test case needs to get failed. So this is a basic assertion which we need to do as soon as you got the result. Okay. So now coming to your scenario, you need to grab the result in the form of a JSON and compare it. So what I need to do, I'm going to grab the result, whatever I got, and converting it to a JSON. So as soon as I do that, if I print it, you will see the entire data in the form of a JSON. So this is the data which I have received now. And your requirement, can you explain me your requirement? What is your project needed?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Like whatever the response we are getting from the okay.
So the
I need
response
to
is
grab
status, one thing, and
status
then the
and
result.
yes, the values.
Yeah. So two things,
The
there are like multiple ways of handling the data here. Now everything is in a JSON format. So I can put some assertions again. Assert like this. Results of prices. So if you see the data in here, it is in a dictionary format. If you recall our classes, the Python classes, how do you grab the data using a key? It's just by using a open close braces and your key value. Inside my results value, I have this entire dictionary. If I want to fetch the ID, just enclose it in a square braces and place ID here. If my requirement is ID. If my requirement is to grab the data of a title, grab the key and provide it to here. And my title, I want to have it as a gaming chair. And I want to see whether that is being available or not. Like this. So this way you can compare your data. Convert it to a JSON and grab the JSON, the dictionary key, the JSON key. Okay. So similarly, if you want to have multiple assertions also, it is possible. You just have to provide another assert and provide your key, my ID, grab it, provide it, and my key is 195, my desired output, just provide it. So if this condition is true, then assert will pass your test case. If this condition is false, then the assertion will fail your test case. Okay. So you can use this method directly in your project, the same pattern. Okay, guys, so I think we are almost time. So I'll start both DB automation and database syntax tomorrow. Okay, in tomorrow's class, we can complete the databases completely. Any questions on APIs?
No, all good.
No.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Great time.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
You bye bye.
Bye.